As the MLS offseason is due to start for everyone after Seattle faces off against Columbus in the final, many transfer rumors are swirling around across the country. This has been the strangest season in MLS history, and clubs are now trying to craft workarounds and sign players on lower budgets and tighter restraints. To add to this, the MLS has allowed teams to sign more young designated players, meaning that almost every club is trying to add at least one under-23 player who can play in the first team, knowing that they'll have less of an impact on the salary cap. So with all these clubs trying to sign players at the same time, some clubs are realizing just how valuable discovery rights are at getting to your targets or making extra money. But that begs the question, what even are discovery targets? It's a system that no other league in the world has and is just unique to the MLS. Today I'm going to break down discovery rights so you can understand how MLS clubs interact with each other when signing foreign players. To understand discovery rights, we first need to understand how MLS teams can actually sign players. Players, when they sign a contract with their teams, are actually contracted by the MLS, and you can refer to any player in the situation as an MLS player. These players are already on teams, and they can never be discovered. Underage players, American youth internationals, or college players can also not be discovered. Basically, any player who's connected to the MLS or the MLS Superdraft in some way is excluded from the discovery process. Okay, but what about non-Americans or Canadians who play for foreign clubs? Well, teams can have rights for a player that doesn't even play in the MLS. If an MLS team sells a player to a team outside the MLS, the selling team retains that player's MLS rights. If the player was ever to move back to the MLS, the team buying the player would also need to buy the MLS rights from the team that owns them. So for example, when Alphonso Davies moved from Vancouver Whitecaps to Bayern Munich, the Whitecaps retained his MLS rights. If Davies one day is offered a contract by, say, LA Galaxy, LA would have to buy Davies from Bayern, but also buy Davies' MLS rights from Vancouver. Okay, so those are players who've been in the MLS before, but most foreign arrivals to America have never played for the MLS. However, the discovery process allows any club who scouted them or might be interested in signing them to just claim the rights to that player. Each team gets exactly 7 discovery slots. At any time, any team can submit a file to the league to discover a player. If the player doesn't have any of the connections with the league that we talked about earlier, and they haven't already been discovered by any other MLS club, the team gets the discovery rights of the player for free. So what can a club do with discovery rights? Well, just like the MLS rights, any MLS club who wants to sign a foreign player must make sure they have the rights for that player. So if a foreigner has been discovered by an MLS club, the club has to sell the discovery rights to the buying team. A team with discovery rights has 2 options when a competing team tries to sign a player. They can either make the first offer to the foreign club or player and negotiate without any interference from the other club, or they can simply sell the discovery rights to the buying club for at least $50,000 of general allocation money. But note that the club cannot just use discovery rights to hold a player hostage or just make a quick buck flipping the discovery rights of players. The MLS has a provision which states that a club cannot use discovery rights to block another team from making a significant financial investment to buy a player unless the discovery team has genuine plans to sign the player. The significant financial investment just means any player who would qualify as a designated player. For example, in 2016, Philadelphia held the discovery rights to Zlatan Ibrahimović, but because there was no way Zlatan was going to Philadelphia, the union couldn't just use the discovery rights against LA Galaxy to hold him hostage. You might be asking, why does the MLS even have this complicated system of discovery rights in the first place? Why not just let every club sign whoever they want? Well, like a lot of rules in the MLS, it's for competitiveness. In most of the rest of the world, big clubs can swoop in and hijack signings of players. But in MLS, every club has a fair chance to sign a player without worrying about bigger MLS clubs unsettling them. Of course, discovery rights are meaningless to clubs in other countries, but as the stature of the game continues to grow in America and the MLS continues to improve, discovery rights are becoming more relevant. Discovery lists are ever changing, with clubs constantly adding and removing players as their needs change. But the list ensures a fairer warning to all clubs and allows any club who puts in the scouting effort to at least be compensated for any player they have the rights to. So that should be everything you need to know about discovery rights in the MLS. If you have friends who don't understand discovery rights, send them this video to help them get it, or if you have any questions, you can just comment below. I hope you liked this video, and thank you for watching.